Hello, everyone. Welcome to the February 5th Wisconsin USDA Foods Networking and Training event. Today, our focus will be on entering the USDA Foods Annual Order Survey, which opens February 10th and goes until February 28th. We will also discuss standing policy and program updates. My name is Cassidy Wright, and I will be moderating this call. Also on this call, we have the whole Wisconsin USDA Foods team. If you are joining today through the computer, use the live event Q&A chat box located on the right of your screen to ask a question. Click the speech bubble image and show Q&A if your chat box does not automatically appear. If you are joining via phone, use *6 to unmute yourself and ask a question. As a reminder, this is a recorded training. Now I'll pass the mic to Randy to start us off.
Hello and welcome to the USDA Networking and Training meeting. Today we'll be discussing the following topics: USDA Foods Policy and Program Updates, USDA Foods Program Timeline Reminders, USDA Foods Annual Order Survey Training, and we'll have an open discussion during the latter part of today's meeting. Please feel free again to type your questions into that chat box anytime throughout this meeting. So let's get over to policy updates. This will be super fast. There are no USDA policy updates for today. Next up is Laura with some USDA foods ordering systems and direct delivery updates.
Thanks, Randy. Good afternoon, everyone. The next time you log into the Wisconsin USDA Foods ordering system, you'll see some updates. We've added the hyperlink to the next program year. To continue checking your current orders for this school year, after you log into the ordering system, be sure to click on Program Year 2025, and then you can navigate to your school year 24-25 orders, surveys, and invoices. If you've been on the Survey tab recently, you may have noticed that we've updated some of the product categories. The biggest change is that we've separated out the fruits and vegetables into two separate categories. Instead of using the miscellaneous category, we replaced it with grains in a separate category for nuts, seeds, and oils. You should have received an email from Dino Ante on February 3rd that Program Year 2026 is now open, and you can update your application tab and review your entitlement for school year 25-26. Please note that if you intend to update your contact information for the current school year and for next school year, you'll need to make the updates in both Program Year 25 and Program Year 2026. We are planning to open the annual order survey on February 10th, and we'll email out a reminder on February 10th that it is open. For this school year, the entitlement product values we've been using have been the product values that USDA posted back in December 2023. These were the values used during the February 2024 annual order survey for this school year's orders. And in mid-February, just a couple weeks, after a great majority of this year's USDA food trucks have been actually purchased and delivered this school year, CPI calculates the weighted average price of USDA products based on actual costs for USDA to purchase the products this school year. The adjusted product values get uploaded into the ordering system, and the adjusted prices are reflected on the annual Commodity Allocation and Receipt Report, or the CARS report, so SFAs can use updated values of USDA foods their SFA received for the school year, not values from December 2023. More information about the CARS report is posted to our website, and at the next networking training in May, we'll be going over how to use the CARS report. Okay, for those of you receiving USDA Foods Direct Delivery Brown Box and the State Processing C-Code products this year, please remember to check for delays and cancellations on the welcome screen of the Wisconsin USDA Foods ordering system. You may have noticed that we recently updated the format of this Excel file per one of our SFA's requests. Since the file gets updated each month, The Excel file now includes past month's tabs at the bottom, so you can refer to any of the previous month's postings. For school year 25-26, the list of direct delivery products for next year was finalized after our last virtual networking meeting on January 22nd, and the product list is posted to our website. Thanks to everyone for completing the preference survey and for voting at the meeting. Your responses helped us create and finalize the product list, and these are the products that will be available to order on the Program Year 26 Annual Order Survey. Product updates for this year include, we're going to be offering the canned apple slices again. We're adding a direct delivery all beef patty and a new USDA product, a pulled chicken. Based on voting results, we've removed direct delivery peanut butter, canned vegetarian beans, and frozen sweet potato fries off the list for next year. On the February 3rd email from Dino, there are links to the product lists and resources for the upcoming annual order. To assist with your planning for the annual order, we've posted a new workbook and calculator tool that includes entitlement values, case weights, estimated servings, and approximate crediting information. It has multiple tabs at the bottom of the workbook for each entitlement spending option. And we hope this new tool will help with planning for the annual order survey. And if you decide to give it a try, we welcome any feedback for how well it worked for you. Next, Dino will talk about DoD Fresh.
Thank you, Laura. Good afternoon. This is Dean Wante. For the upcoming annual survey, you will have another opportunity to allocate some of your USDA foods entitlement in the DoD Fresh Produce Program. The program is a collaboration between DoD and USDA to increase the availability of fresh fruit and vegetables in schools who are in the USDA Foods Program. To participate, you will enter a dollar amount in the DoD section of your annual survey for next school year, which we will go through later in the webinar. Your allocation to the program will be entered into the DoD Fresh Produce Ordering System called Favors, where you will place your produce orders next school year. Produce will be made available and delivered to you by the current DoD vendor in Wisconsin, which is AJ Wholesale out of Sheboygan. And in case you're wondering, the produce and deliveries will not be provided by your prime vendor. The produce will be completely different from your USDA Foods monthly order. You can order weekly if you want to, if you have remaining funds in the program. Next, Cassidy will bring up state processed product updates.
Thank you, Dino. Here are the updates for the state processing program. On the left hand of the slide, the products and processors are listed that the DPI SNT team renewed for school year 25-26. JTM will continue to provide the pork taco filling, turkey mini corn dogs, and beef meatballs. As mentioned during the last networking event, JTM will no longer produce turkey breakfast sausage patties, so this product was unable to be renewed. We also had historically low order volumes. Schwan's will fill the stuffed cheese sticks. Pilgrim's Pride will continue to provide the chicken smackers, patties, and nuggets. Tyson Foods will fill the beef patties, and Cargill Kitchen Solutions will process the French toast sticks. Note that their French toast sticks contain sesame. On the right of the slide, you can see we secured a new contract with IFD Food Distributor to obtain a new product, Yang's Mandarin Orange Chicken Jr. They will also provide the ES Foods macaroni and cheese and Schwan's cheese quesadillas. SFAs will order and have the same delivery options as all other C-code products. Products will still be delivered to the 2 DPI state warehouses for further distribution to SFAs through our MPI or the SFA commercial distributor when picking up other direct delivery and C-code options at our warehouses. All product specifications sheets and their entitlement value and fees information is now available on the USDA Foods State Processing Program webpage under school year 25-26, program year 2026. For the rest of this current school year, continue to review the USDA Foods online ordering system spreadsheet of product cancellations and delays for the most up-to-date information. Overall, our orders are being filled with very minimal, if any, delays and cancellations. Next up, Lyra will discuss direct diversion program updates.
Thank you, Cassidy. So hello, everyone. So for direct diversion, I don't have a lot to give her updates, but I do have my usual reminder to make sure that you continue using the pounds that you allocated for this school year. We have seen a lot of transfer requests. It's great to see that you guys are using the pounds and continued to request pounds if you have the need for more pounds. So continue to contact your processors or brokers for those transfer requests so that we can review those requests in a timely manner. And if you have any questions regarding direct diversion, we are always available at DPI Direct Diversion at dpi.wi.gov for any questions or assistance that you may need. I think the next slide, we're going to go through some program timeline reminders.
Thank you, Lyra. We are going to discuss the USDA Foods program timeline reminders. In February, there are two very important dates. After our training today on how to submit the USDA Foods annual order for next school year, we encourage you to refer to the recording as a resource to submit your order and troubleshoot. The portal for submitting your order will be open February 10th through the 28th and closes at midnight on the 28th. I did see a question in the chat. What time does it open on the 10th? And that is 7 a.m. Thank you for answering that, Dino. This deadline for the order cannot be extended, so please plan accordingly. In March, near the beginning of the month, SFA is currently participating in DoD, direct diversion, or cheese processing this year should review the current school year outstanding entitlement dollar balance. Spend any remaining dollars before the end of the school year. Remember to review the DPI sweep policy if you have any questions. SFAs need to submit an updated application before entering the annual order survey, and you'll enter whether your SFA is opting to have USDA Foods direct delivery and state processing products delivered by state or commercial distribution. March 31st is the deadline to make any changes to your school year 25-26 distribution choice. SFAs opting to utilize a commercial distributor for school year 25-26 to deliver their USDA Foods should have the contract awarded or renewed by the annual order survey date. SFAs using commercial distribution will electronically accept the DPI commercial distribution agreement within the USDA Foods online ordering system under contracts and delivery form no later than March 31st. How to accept these agreements for next year are described in the instructions for the annual order survey. We will pause here briefly for questions before proceeding with the annual order survey training. So at this time, if you want to unmute and ask a question, if you might have one, type it in the chat.
Yeah, so far there's no questions in the Q&A.
All right, that sounds good. I'm not seeing anything in the chat either, so I think we can keep moving.
Okay.
If that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me. All right. So great. Today we'll be going over how to submit the annual order survey in the Wisconsin USDA Foods ordering system. A wide variety of foods are available through USDA Foods program, including meats, cheeses, fruits, vegetables, and grain products. USDA updates the offered products to align with the dietary guidelines for Americans, the MyPlate food guidance system, and the NSLP meal pattern requirements. During this training, we're going to explain how to place your annual order survey so your SFA can receive these products next school year. Let's go over the agenda. So first, we'll go over the annual order timeline. We'll talk a little bit about the resources that are posted online. Then we'll talk about the ordering system, getting started by updating the contract and delivery forms, how to choose an annual order survey, entering an annual order survey, how to use the extra row, and finally we'll take questions. So let's get started with the timeline. Maybe I will pause. I do see a few questions popping in. Let's see. Anything of importance, Dino? Well, not that it's not important, but
Unfortunately, Jeff, we're not able to procure that machine at this time, and we are not allowed to do so. But yes, but nice try.
A good idea.
Keep the ideas coming. Let's see. Okay, so the annual order timeline. In our last networking and training meeting, we presented a checklist of what you could be doing to plan for the annual order before the annual order opens. And we'll quickly recap here. So review your menus. Are you planning to change your menus for next year, or will they remain the same? Review the annual order survey that was submitted for this year in program year 2025, and review your current inventories and estimate your ending inventory. Have you been using what you ordered as expected? If you plan to order state processed products, review the C code product information for next year that's posted to our website. For those of you participating in direct diversion or cheese rebate, or using a commercial distributor, like we said, this is the time to be finalizing those contracts and work with processors and commercial distributors so you can finalize the number of pounds to enter for each processor in the annual order. And use the annual order workbook and calculator posted to the DPI annual order webpage.
Laura, we do
next-
have some
Yeah.
questions.
Okay,
The first one is, if I have never done direct diversion before, is it okay for me to sign up this year?
my guidance on that would be to contact your commercial distributor as soon as possible, and they can let you know if there's enough time to do that. Really, we post those materials back in November so that you can take your time, do some contracting, do some forecasting, and it does take a bit of time. So is it too late? Nope, we have not closed the order, but you do need to have certain things in place before you can start ordering pounds of food to divert to a processor. Does anyone else have anything to add to my response?
The one thing I would, go ahead.
Go
sorry.
ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
Oh, just to make sure, again, if it's your first time and you're just getting started, like Laura was saying, with your commercial distributor, in finding out who or what contracts they have available for direct diversion. That'll be one of the first questions that I would be asking them to make sure that they have direct diversion set up with their suppliers, and if so, which one of those, and do those products match what products is on your product list that you have contracted with them, and any other related administrative thing on your end that you would need to adjust with that contract. Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
Nope, I think LP and you got it covered. Yeah, just make sure you are going to give yourself time if you're thinking about direct diversion, because there's a lot of, like Randy said, administrative things that you have to do on your end, not just with your commercial distributor, that you're not going to solely rely on your commercial distributor. There's a lot more to do on your end if you're going to do direct diversion. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Yeah, would you guys recommend, like, just sort of, if you wanted to dip your toe in, just one or two products, just if you're interested and it works out with your commercial distributor, to actually divert to those?
Absolutely. Pick a nice center of the plate item if you want to test it out and see if it's for you. Yes, yeah, that would be a recommendation, is start really small and then work your way up. And then leverage the direct delivery for everything else that you, over and beyond what you've spent with your entitlement for what's available to your school. Yep.
Are we ready to move on to the next slide, or? maybe
There is
there's
another question. So our commodity foods account for DoD has to be used up by March 31st? Question mark.
Technically, no. Technically, you can wait until the end of June to use up your DoD funding because that's the funding cycle. However, a lot of schools usually are done by April, May timeframe, and in the event that you're not able to use up your funding, we would like to reallocate any unused funding to other schools who are in need of additional funding. So we recommend that you use it as soon as you can.
And then, thank you, Dino. Another question. During previous years, there was an opportunity to receive overstock product at the first of the month. We have not seen this recently. Has this been discontinued? Question mark.
Yeah, so usually that overstock comes through at the end of the year. We don't have a whole lot of agencies that are dropping our program currently. Everyone's been pretty stable. I think in the past, if there's been a large number of of SFAs that have placed their order and then dropped the program, we might have some cases to offer. So yes, if we do have cases to offer, we will send an email. It is on a first come, first serve basis kind of thing. And then on top of different from the surplus, from time to time, USDA will offer bonus trucks that will offer out as a fair share. They have not been offering out bonus trucks. I don't think we've gotten an offer at all this year. At the beginning of this year, we did have we had a late truck actually of entitlement tagged broccoli. I was just thinking that for a moment that was bonus, but it was not. We used our entitlement toward that product.
Thank you, Laura.
And if there was
sorry.
a bonus product, we would definitely email the primary to let you know that there was an ordering opportunity coming up.
And then another question, where do we find the contracts for distributors?
So I will say there is an agreement between DPI and the SFAs that you understand what is in your commercial distributor contract. And then I believe there is a template for the commercial distributor on our procurement webpage. And maybe by the end of this meeting, we can have that link dropped in the chat.
I believe Randy has it linked in the chat.
Great. All
Well,
right.
actually, just a correction there. Just in case that was the typo and they're looking for the contacts for distributors, I put the list of known contacts
I
for
wasn't sure either. Okay.
commercial distributors. However, Laura, you are correct there. So somebody help me find that and we'll get it posted for you.
Yeah, it's actually under our website under commercial distribution. There is towards the bottom end of the page, there's procurement resources, and we have the template contract between SFA and commercial distributor and the description of the template. So you can use that you don't necessarily have to use it, but rather being a template, you can use it as a reference, or you can actually use the template if you want to. And more importantly, you do not have to submit that to DPI. That will be a contract between you, the SFA, and the vendor.
Thank you. And I think the last question I can see in the chat is, we have always ordered brown box delivery as we are a small school. We would like to know what type of products can be made by poundage.
Yeah, so I'm going to recommend that person drop us an email and we can have a discussion about that. But it looks like Lyra is probably navigating right over to where the direct diversion list is of products and processors. But just as a note, we don't list the end products. That is a decision between you and your commercial distributor or your processor, depending on how you're contracting for diversion foods.
These are all
And
wonderful questions. Sorry, Dino.
yeah, and to just clarify, I know this is kind of like can be confusing. That direct diversion is a processing program. Direct delivery is what we call the brown box items. So I know it's very close, right? So
No,
can be
darn it.
confusing.
Okay, so I am going to go on to the next slide. We are going to gather our materials for the annual order survey. Dino's February 3rd email included a link to the DPI's updated annual order survey webpage for program year 2026. And I'm going to pause for a minute so Lyra can move forward a slide for us. Oh, right. Use the links to the entitlement spending options that you plan to use. There are links to the list of direct delivery products, the state processing C code products, and a link to the DoD Fresh program information. And on the next slide, I kind of whipped through those. Sorry, Lyra. Continuing down the annual order survey webpage, for those of you participating in direct diversion or cheese rebate, there are links to the DPI approved processors and bulk products. Then under the resources section, we've posted detailed step-by-step instructions that include troubleshooting tips. And after this meeting, we plan to post the recording of this training. Below those resources, this is where that annual order survey workbook plan and calculator is posted. Since a large majority of SFAs order at least some direct delivery brown box products, I just want to go over a little more closely the information included in the current product list that's posted to our webpage. DPI's direct delivery brown box product list includes, yep, thank you, Lyra. Yep, right there. Product code and description, value per case, storage type, pack size, and case weights. There's also a column for which months the product is available on the annual order survey, since some products, like the fish product shown here, are not available for delivery every month. Per some feedback that we received from the SFAs, this list is organized by product type and then by product code order, because this order matches the way the products are listed in the ordering system. But if you prefer, there's a second tab on the bottom and you can refer to the same list alphabetically. If you want more details about the products than what is on this table, refer to the DPI Direct Delivery Program webpage and click on either USDA's product information sheets or the USDA Direct Delivery Food Database. And next, Cassidy is going to talk about entitlement.
Thank you, Laura. In January, USDA lets states know what the expected entitlement for each state is for the next school year. In February, DPI distributes entitlement dollars to SFAs in the Wisconsin USDA Foods Ordering System. Distribution of entitlement is based on your SFA's previous school year's lunches served at the USDA Foods rate. Program year 2026 entitlement is based on school year 23-24 annual lunches served. USDA does not give DPI actual dollars, and DPI does not give actual dollars to SFAs. SFA's entitlement is spent by ordering USDA foods in the Wisconsin ordering system. In previous trainings, we have compared entitlement to receiving a gift card. Your gift card is loaded with your entitlement dollars, and you can only use your gift card to order USDA foods. Just like spending down a gift card to zero, it is in your SFA's best interest to use your entire entitlement balance. Every dollar's worth of USDA foods ordered using your entitlement gift card frees up money that would otherwise be spent on commercial food purchases. Cases and bulk pounds of USDA foods are listed with an entitlement dollar value. The entitlement value represents the most recent cost of the product purchased by USDA. As you submit cases and pounds into the annual order, the system will show you the entitlement value orders so far and you will be able to see the balance drawdown as you continue entering your annual order. Here is a list of all the program options your SFA has for spending entitlement on the annual order. Deciding how you are going to spend your entitlement should be part of your annual order planning. By the time you open your annual order in the USDA Foods ordering system and start submitting numbers, you should have a good idea of which USDA Foods programs you are going to order from. We did an overview of each of these programs in the last networking and training webinar, but if you have questions, I recommend you visit our website, check out each program area, and if you think of questions, feel free to contact us. I will mention that if your SFA is planning to participate in direct diversion and the cheese processing program for next year, do not assume that the product and processor list is the same as last year. So check with your commercial distributor on current processors and product lines. We had recommended that you start this process back in November, but now is the time to confirm and finalize processors, products, and pounds to select in the annual order survey. Now let's take a look at how to submit your annual order survey. First, we will go to the Wisconsin Child Nutrition Program's online services webpage.
Great. So hopefully most of you are familiar with the Child Nutrition Online Services and you already have it bookmarked. This time you're going to click on the USDA Foods Ordering System button on the right. Once you are on the login portal page, enter your agency code and password. This will take you to the welcome page, read the message board, and click continue for the next screen. On the program year selection screen, you're going to want to make sure that in the upper right, the program is NSLP, National School Lunch Program. If it's not, then click on the word program. Now select NSLP from the list of programs. And this is where you select the program year. The program year is the last 4 digits of the school year. So for school year 2025-26, the last 4 digits are 2026. And after you click on the year, it'll take you to the SFA summary menu. And from this page, click on the hyperlink, which will take you to the summary table. So in the summary table, it's a tab format, including applications, entitlement, surveys, allocations, orders, and invoicing. And the first step that everyone needs to complete is reviewing and submitting the USDA Foods contact form for next year. Under the Applications tab, click on the Edit hyperlink on the right, and this will take you to the contract form screen. On the contract form, lines 1 through 37 is where you update contact information. The contact information is important to keep updated throughout the school year. This information is program year specific, so since we've selected program year 2026, you are entering information for next school year. The FDP primary contact will receive USDA Foods program emails, and they are responsible for making sure our emails get forwarded to any other staff. Our team only uses the FDP alternate contact if we cannot reach the primary. For lines 25 through 37, it's very important that the food safety coordinator and the backup email and phone number are up to date. Both of these people are notified if there are any product recalls. After you complete your SFA contact information, scroll down. On line 41 is where you indicate whether your SFA is contracting with a commercial distributor for next year, or if you're opting for state delivery of your USDA Foods. If you plan to contract with a commercial distributor for next year, you should already be close to having those contracts finalized. And again, the deadline is March 31st for entering your distributor information on this page, and these buttons will be locked after March 31st. The commercial distributor agreement between DPI and SFA is embedded here. When you click the blue commercial distributor button, you're going to get a pop-up of the agreement. And if you can forward one more slide, here's a screenshot of the agreement. And by clicking agree button at the bottom of the agreement, you are indicating to DPI that your commercial distributor contract complies with the USDA Foods program requirements described in this agreement. For state delivery, DPI contracts with our state contracted warehouse who subcontracts with a delivery company, saving your SFA the task of having to procure and contract for deliveries of your USDA foods. Anyone without plans for a commercial distributor next year should click state delivery on this contract form. And state delivery is the default if you do not select a commercial distributor from the dropdown. Again, after March 31st, you cannot change from state delivery to a commercial distributor. Line 43, you should ignore this co-op information. We do not use that. Line 44 is where you indicate if another SFA prepares your SFA's meals under a joint agreement. And this information rolls over from the previous year. If you answer no and you prepare your own meals, then your own SFA's name should be in the dropdown. If you click yes, use the dropdown to select the SFA that prepares your meals, and this will link next year's orders in the system for delivery reports. On line 45, it says check here for direct diversion. Here you'll indicate if your SFA plans to take the direct diversion survey and are planning to order bulk pounds of products to be diverted to approved processors. If you're planning to take the direct diversion annual order survey, this button needs to be checked. The direct diversion agreement between DPI and SFAs is embedded here. And when you click the direct diversion box, you're going to get a pop-up of the agreement. Here's the screenshot of the agreement. And by clicking agree button at the bottom of the agreement, you're indicating that the contract you have with processors or your commercial distributor complies with the USDA Foods program requirements for direct diversion outlined in this agreement. Line 47 is where you click the verification box, indicating that you have reviewed the above information and it is correct. Then at the bottom of the page, click the submit button. Okay, you're going to get a message screen indicating the status of your contract form. If you have no missing information or errors, your contract form should be in pending approval status. Click the word here to return to the application tab. At this point, be sure your contract is in pending approval. If the screen says pending submission or error, you're going to click here and go back to the contract form, correct any errors, including being sure to check that verification box 47 and clicking submit. If you're only in pending submission, the system will not allow you to take the annual order survey. Again, when you click here, you're going to be back on the application tab. And this is a great time to check if you are in pending approval, not pending submission. And this is probably the most common issue, this pending submission that folks have when they're trying to do their survey. The next step is to review what your SFA has for the delivery information for next year under the delivery location form. And go ahead and click edit, or sometimes it says revise. On the delivery location page, review and update the delivery address and the contact information. Scroll to the bottom and click submit.
When you are in pending approval, you are now ready to enter the annual order. Do not wait for DPI to approve your contract. This won't happen until the summer of 2025. If you are in pending approval and the order window is open, you can now enter your annual order survey. The annual order survey is under the surveys tab. Some people mistakenly go to the orders tab. The orders tab is currently empty, and the orders tab will start to fill in when your orders are allocated after products start arriving to our warehouses starting in August. So you've clicked on the surveys tab. If the action column states application must be pending approval, this means that your contract is not in pending approval. You may have forgotten to click the verification box on the contract form. To correct this, click on the Applications tab and be sure to check the verification box. Scroll to the bottom and click Submit. When you click on the Surveys tab for the first time, you will see two rows, one for the State Processing Survey and another row for the Direct Diversion Survey. Here is where you will choose one survey to complete. You'll see the top survey screen if you are not going to take the Direct Diversion Survey. You'll see the bottom screen if you checked box 45 on the application because you intend to take the Direct Diversion Survey. Please do not choose a survey just to see the differences. Once you enter or click anything on either survey, the other survey is no longer available. What are the differences between the two survey options? The State Processing Survey includes the options to order direct delivery, some people call this brown box, products, state processed products, or otherwise called C codes, cheese processing pounds, and enter a DoD fresh produce commitment. Please note for the cheese rebate program, you must have finalized contracts with eligible vendors to process bulk cheese into pizza-like products. If you are choosing these options, click Edit to proceed to the State Processing Survey. The Direct Diversion Survey includes the option to order direct delivery, which is also known as brown box, products, DoD fresh commitment, and direct diversion pounds and processor selections. If you are unsure which survey to choose, you can contact us. Also, if you are on this screen and only see one survey listed and you realize that you chose the wrong survey, please contact DPI. We can reset your survey so you can select the correct one. You do not need to enter your survey all at once. Once you start submitting products, you can save your survey, log out, and log back in at any time while the survey is open. Doing this does not cause multiple orders. You can continue editing your orders survey up until 11:59 p.m. on Friday, February 28th. The annual order survey will close at midnight. We recommend you start entering your survey right away. It doesn't take long for SFAs to enter the annual order information, but if challenges arise, you do not want to wait until the last couple of days the survey is open and find out that you have a bad connection, you can't log in, or are rushing. And next up, Dino is going to continue talking about the annual order survey, but he is also answering some questions in the chat as well.
Thanks, Cassidy.
Yes.
Okay, so now that you have clicked Edit next to the correct order survey, you are now on the survey entry screen. On the left column is DPI's contact information in case you have issues or questions. And there is a reminder of the date the annual order survey closes. On the right column is a summary of your entitlement information, including the total for the year. This column lets you know what your balance is as you submit items into the annual order survey. DPI has set up the survey to allow your SFA to keep ordering up to 105% of your entitlement. We recommend that you should keep ordering USDA foods until your SFA reaches the 105% cap, as long as you can use the products you are ordering during this school year. This means that yes, we recommend that your final order submission will leave a negative balance. And if you spend over 105% of your entitlement, the system will give you an error. And you can adjust your entries so you are just under the 105% cap. The next section on the survey entry screen is for the DoD Fresh Produce Program. If you are planning on participating in a DoD Fresh Produce program next school year, you will enter your entitlement dollar commitment in this box. The DoD option is available on both the direct diversion and the state processing surveys. The top line is where you will enter the amount of entitlement you would like to commit to DoD Fresh Produce next school year. You must enter at least a minimum of $500. When you enter a commitment, please do not enter the dollar sign or the 1,000 comma separator when entering the amount. Otherwise, you will get an error. If you're not planning on participating in a DoD Fresh program next school year, leave it at 0 because this is an optional program. The amount you enter in this box will count against your overall entitlement. Well, here's our first extra row box. We will explain more about the extra row in the following slides. For the next line labeled Extra Dollar Commitment for DoD, we recommend that you enter the dollars you can use for DoD Fresh for the entire school year. The amount you enter in the extra row will not initially draw down your entitlement. But if you have any remaining balance in your entitlement after DPI is done balancing orders, DPI may be able to add more DoD dollars for your agency or your SFA. After entering the numbers, be sure to click on the Submit button at the bottom. Keep in mind the Submit button is a save button. And while you're entering your order, you can click on the Submit button as often as you like. And by clicking on the Submit button will not result in a duplicate order. So we recommend that you click on the Submit button as often as possible to save your entries. Please note that this online ordering session may time out after so many minutes of inactivity, like say, for example, you have to walk away from it. That's called the inactivity. So you will get an error message if you've been inactive, if you have not been actively entering your order. In case you get an error message due to inactivity, please log off from the ordering system and just simply log in again and navigate back to the last screen you were working on. You should be able to see your entries from the last time you click on the Submit button. After you click Submit from the survey entry screen, you will exit the order survey. And at this time, you will only see just one survey. It should either be State Processing Survey or Direct Diversion Survey. If you don't see the survey you intended to submit, please stop and contact DPI right away. Otherwise, if everything looks okay, you can continue by clicking on the Edit hyperlink to continue with entering your annual survey. You can continue to view or enter or revise your order or survey screen until we close the annual survey period on the 28th. Now, Laura P. will talk about entering direct delivery or brown box items.
Great. So like the DoD Fresh Produce, all the direct delivery brown box products are offered on both the direct diversion and state processing order surveys. In the system, direct delivery items are separated by product categories listed on the right column, and you click on End Product hyperlinks on the left of each category. On each of the end product screens, at the top, you can review the entitlement balance and the product category. On this screen, you can also see the product code, the product description, and the USDA entitlement value per case. You can also see which months are available for ordering. If the box is grayed out, you cannot enter cases for that month. In the cases row, you enter the number of cases that you want each month to count against your entitlement. As you enter numbers in the cases row and click Submit, these cases will draw down your entitlement. When you're done with your first category, scroll to the bottom and click Submit, then move on to the next product category, click on End Product Hyperlink, and continue entering your cases. Please be aware that the direct delivery products do have a per case handling fee, and the handling fees are automatically deducted from your monthly National School Lunch claim. Clicking Submit will take you back to the product category screen. Move on to the next product on the list. So if you've just finished your beef, pork, and fish category, move down to the next end product. Here it's the cheese products. Click on End Products, submit your cases for cheese product list, and so on. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the extra row on all of these screens and how DPI may adjust your order in March. After the survey closes, DPI will combine all the SFA orders to create our single states order to USDA. DPI places orders for next school year in March and April, and we order by full truckloads from USDA based on all the SFA's combined requests. When entering your order, you're limited by the 105% entitlement cap, and as you submit cases or pounds of product, you're going to see the entitlement balance decreasing. And you may find that your USDA foods needs for the year is more than what your entitlement cap allows you to order. And you've shorted yourself on certain products to come under that 105% entitlement cap. But when you use the extra row, you are telling DPI that if you had no limitations of an entitlement cap, you could use more of a certain product during a certain month. If your SFA can use more cases or pounds or DoD fresh dollars, you should use the extra row to enter the number of additional quantities that your SFA can use for the month in addition to what you've entered on the cases row. For example, let's say your SFA could use 3 cases of apple slices in September. On your order planning, you've decided to prioritize 1 case of apple slices to draw down entitlement, and you entered a 1 in the cases row. Then in the extra row, you would enter 2 because your SFA could use a total of 3 cases for the month. Anything you enter on the extra row, whether cases, pounds, or those DoD dollar commitment, the extra row entries will not draw down your entitlement balance when you click Submit. But when DPI is balancing to the full trucks in March, if DPI needs to add a few extra cases to make a truckload, then DPI will look at the SFA's request in the extra row. And the only way to receive extra cases is to enter numbers in the extra row. At the end of March, after DPI is balanced to the trucks, you'll receive an email from DPI to log back into the ordering system and review your adjusted order. If DPI has added cases or pounds or DoD dollars to your order from the extra row, then you'll see that it counts toward your entitlement then, but this is only if DPI added from the extra row to your cases row on the annual order. Next, we'll talk about state processed products.
The state processed products, or C codes, are only available on the State Processing Survey. They are not listed on the Direct Diversion Survey, so if you are not participating in Direct Diversion next year, make sure you choose the State Processing Survey. On the State Processing Survey, these products are also on the same screens as the direct delivery products that Laura was just talking about. All state processed product codes start with a C followed by 3 digits. These products are ordered by the case, same as direct delivery brown box items. The entitlement amount indicates the amount of value for the USDA Foods product that is utilized to produce a case of product. This amount will draw down your gift card balance. Please be aware that unlike direct delivery cases, state processed products have processing fees per case. For each case of product ordered, the fees do not draw down your entitlement. Processing and handling fees are automatically deducted from your monthly National School Lunch claim as an out-of-pocket food cost. Next, we will talk about the cheese rebate program option. The cheese rebate selection is available on both the state processing and direct diversion surveys. This is for ordering 1 cheese product. To participate in the cheese processing program, select the raw product hyperlink by the cheese product category. This will take you to the raw product ordering screen. Click on the select hyperlink located on the far left of the cheese row for product 110244. This will open the processor name screen listing of processors in the program. The cheese available for this program is ordered in pounds, not cases. The pounds entered here should be based on your procurement calculations with your contracted processors. You will enter the number of pounds needed for the year for your meal service. SFAs have the option to select one processor or several. The extra column is also available for cheese rebate. Be sure to enter any additional pounds your SFA could use for the year. DPI cannot add pounds to your order unless you use the extra column. When entering your numbers, do not use commas. Click the Submit button on the bottom of the screen. This will take you back to Raw Product screen. You can see the entitlement balance automatically calculated on the far right. This is a great time to double check if the amount makes sense. Did you accidentally enter cases instead of pounds? If you made a mistake, you can redo this step and enter pounds. Next, we will talk about entering direct diversion processed products that are only available on the direct diversion survey.
Great, thanks, Cassidy. If you've been planning to participate in direct diversion and have contracts in place for next year with processors or the prime vendor or commercial distributor, only then should you select the direct diversion survey. On this survey, you will not see the state processing C code products listed. On the direct diversion survey, you follow the same instructions from the previous slides for entering DoD Fresh, and under the product categories, you use the end product hyperlinks to go to those direct delivery brown box cases. To access the direct diversion bulk products, you'll select the raw products hyperlink next to the product categories. To order bulk pounds of beef, click on raw products hyperlink next to the beef, pork, and fish category, and this will take you to the raw product order screen. Next, you'll select the hyperlink next to the first bulk product you plan to order. And on the processor screen, you'll see a list of processors that are approved for processing that USDA food product for direct diversion. Next, to the appropriate processor that you or your prime vendor has contracted with for next year, enter the number of pounds. Pounds entered in the pounds column will draw down your entitlement. In the extra column, you should enter any remaining pounds that you can use for the school year. Again, pounds entered under the extra column will not draw down your entitlement unless DPI adds the extra pounds to your order in March while balancing trucks. You can enter pounds from multiple processors on this screen if your SFA or prime vendor has contracts with those processors for next school year. Click the Submit button at the bottom to exit the screen. This will take you back to the raw product screen where you can see the total amount of entitlement automatically calculated based on the number of pounds that you entered. This process will need to be completed for each of the bulk USDA Foods product you're ordering for the direct diversion program. Clicking the previous page takes you back to the category list, and you can work your way down the list of raw products by category. So we've gone over how to submit your order. I can see there's quite a few questions in the chat. Next, we will show how to review your order. We're coming up on 3 o'clock. All of this is in the instructions that we've posted to our website. Team, I don't know if you think there are some questions we should go over before 3 o'clock and then just sort of finish out the meeting, or if we should just move on with the slides that we have.
I think we should just finish our slides.
Okay, thank you. All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Okay, we're reviewing survey entries. Once you have made all your entries and clicked on the Submit button, you should verify the order is complete. Please note that DPI have no way of knowing if you are done or complete with your annual survey orders since we do not know what you need in your program. But this is what you can do. Log out completely from the ordering system, log back into your ordering account system, go back to the survey tab, and just review everything that you've entered at this point in time and click on edit so you can see it. And for example, make sure you entered 1 instead of 10 or 10 instead of 100. Check each end product for each product category. For direct diversion, confirm you entered your pounds correctly and make sure it's for the processor you intended to commit pounds to. Under raw products, you don't want to enter 10 for 10 cases when you meant to enter 1,000 pounds. Once you've satisfied, click on submit and you're done. Please note again that DPI cannot confirm that your annual order is complete or done because we do not know what USDA foods you need to operate in your program. Some of you will print out the survey screen, which is fine, but please note that these numbers are not final. Once the survey period is completed on the 28th, we will compile the survey orders and balance the statewide survey into truckload increments and order the food from the USDA accordingly. We may cut some cases and we may add cases as well based on your extra row entries. And next is Randy.
All right. So before the annual ordering survey opens up next week, please confirm that you can successfully log into the USDA Foods ordering system. Call 608-267-4599, which is Dino's number, if you are having troubles with your password or you have any questions. Refer to the resources on the DPI annual ordering survey webpage so that you understand all of your options, those that we've just discussed today. And again, if you have any questions, just give us a call. So starting out, do you know if you are selecting the state processed or direct diversion survey? And again, if you're not sure, give us a call and we'll help you out with that question. And other things to consider. Also consider the following when planning out your annual order USDA food orders. Start early. Don't wait to the last day to enter your orders. Again, it is in your best interest to start early. Give yourself plenty of time in case you have issues and or questions. When planning and entering your orders, consider diversifying what you are ordering. This school year, USDA Foods Direct Delivery, also known as Brown Box, although there were some delayed in products, overall, the products were quite dependable. DoD Fresh Produce has great flexibility, but entitlement values may be a little higher than you'll find on the commercial side of things. Most state products have been very reliable this time of year, but when a product is canceled, DPI cannot substitute another product. In direct diversion, it is also important to diversify. You don't want to have all of your entitlement spent on one product line and then experience something like a USDA Foods recall or cancellation of a product line by a processor. When ordering, bring in your USDA foods in as quick as you can use them. The earlier you plan to use your USDA food products in a year, this will provide you the most flexibility for making adjustments if something gets delayed or canceled. Schools that order in their USDA foods early tend to lose less. For example, a delayed truck still may arrive before the end of the school year. The more direct diversion pounds you use in the beginning of the school year, the more opportunity you can request extra pound transfers later in the year if we have any pounds available in the state account with the processor. And this also goes for school-to-school transfers. Also confirm that you've spent up to at least 105% of your entitlement. If you still have entitlement balances available, ask yourself if you can adjust your menu options to incorporate more USDA food type products. And if the answer is yes, we recommend log back in there and use some more of that entitlement. And don't forget to use those extra rows. Next up is Laura with what's next after the survey closes.
Great. So you have followed all the tips before and during the ordering period. What's next after the annual order closes? Look for our email at the end of March or early April, letting you know that your adjusted orders are ready for your review on the survey tab. Don't forget that if you need to update the commercial distribution information under the application tab, All updates in the system are due March 31st because those buttons freeze. If you decided to participate in DoD Fresh Produce next year for the first time, please know that you make your entitlement commitment in the annual order, but actual ordering of those products will be completed in Favor's system, and you'll be receiving information about that system closer to the start of the next school year. And for those of you new to direct diversion, each processor sets up your accounts for tracking pounds in either the K-12 or Processor Link online systems, and there's no need to contact K-12 or Processor Link at this time. Okay, so before we take any questions, I know it's after the time. We appreciate your extra time here and hear comments. We do thank you for joining us today. We hope you feel more confident about entering and submitting your annual order survey. And this slide has our contact information. Please definitely feel free to contact us with questions. We have a ton of questions in the chat. Don't be shy. Please reach out to us. We're happy to help.
And just because we are over our time, I did post the link to the certificate in the chat box, and I will also work to post that in the Q&A section as well. But just a reminder, DPI S&T is not an accredited provider, and therefore this training cannot be used for CEU credits for RDN credentials. But all DPI S&T trainings can be used towards USDA professional standards hours and Wisconsin goals requirements. If you are not joining via web, please email Jessica Oli or our main USDA Foods email inbox at dpisnusdafoods@dpi.wi.gov so we can get that certificate to you. Please join us for our next call coming up soon on Wednesday, May 7th from 2 to 3 p.m. And to access the live link, visit our Wisconsin USDA Foods training webpage to view the schedule. The training topic will cover viewing USDA Foods annual order survey adjustments and conducting end-of-year reconciliation and CARS reports. At this time, Laura, do you want us to continue answering questions? What do you think?
Sure. For anyone else who's willing to hang out, again, this will be part of the recording. We haven't stopped recording, so if you need to leave, you can certainly come back if you're interested in hearing our responses to these questions. I'll kind of start at the bottom, and if you guys could help me out here, we have a question asking about where is the CARS report? I am going to suggest that you hold off on closely reviewing your CARS report. This is the value of USDA foods received for program year 2025, and those values will be updated to actual values in just a couple weeks. Right now, they're still reflecting the December 2023 values. If you hold off for a couple weeks, you'll have a better idea of the real value of the USDA foods that your SFA has received this school year. Moving up, a reminder to catch that certificate link and so you can get your certificate. There was a question about, can we find out entitlement before the 10th? Yes, absolutely. Please, you can see your entitlement now for program year 2026. SFA's entitlement are in the Wisconsin USDA Foods ordering system. Log in, click on NSLP program year 2026, and click on the entitlement tab. And I can see Lyra furiously clicking away here. You know, I'm not sure where, yeah, we haven't really gotten approved, but we haven't gotten really approval from an SFA to show off their entitlement. So I hesitate to pick a SFA, Lyra, but the entitlement is on the table, maybe on the slideshow. We can go back to where that is on the SFA summary table. And I'll go on with the next question. Someone asked, we used to be able to print out a list of available foods and make notes. I'm actually can't quite see the full question, but and I suggested that for any of the product lists that you have been given links to on February 3rd, you can certainly feel free to use those Excel files as you like. You can add a column for your notes to an Excel file. If you need assistance with this, certainly reach out. We'd be glad to help you with some tips and tricks on how to use those Excel files. They are not locked down. They are not protected. They're for you to use. There was a great question about, I don't see the surveys on the survey tab, and you will not see the surveys until we open the surveys on February 10th. So yes, the survey tab is currently empty, and those 2 rows will show up on February 10th. When we open the survey, watch for that email coming out that says those surveys are open. Sort of going backwards. I noticed that my entitlement dollars went down this year. Is that true overall? If you think about the calculation toward entitlement, it really depends. If you're comparing last year to this year, did your lunches go up or down? Also, so that's one part of the calculation. If your lunches went down from last year, yes, your entitlement went down. Also, our overall state entitlement is not as large as it was last program year. So it's not that every SFA went down, but the entire sort of ratio as to the number of lunches for the state went down. Someone's mentioned that they were blocked from submitting their claims. If you think your claims might have been delayed in getting into our system, we did not pull those numbers for last year's claims until the end of November. So if you had claims adjustments after the end of November, go ahead and email us. I'd be glad to check the number of claims that we pulled from the online services, just to make sure you're getting your right entitlement. There was I don't know if there was a couple questions, but folks are thinking that the entitlement is being emailed to them, that their entitlement dollars are being emailed. It's not being emailed. There was an email that went out with lots of links and instructions, but the entitlement is actually you'll have to look it up yourself in the USDA Foods ordering system and click on that entitlement tab. If you still can't find it, give us a call. And then I think we're back up to the last time we took questions. Anything else from the team? I do see a couple new questions since I started scrolling up. Let's see. So have you ever considered adding some breakfast items to the order? There actually is a French toast that's available under the state processing. If you're in direct diversion, I imagine that there might be some end products available for you for breakfast. Lots of folks use those fruit cups towards breakfast. If anyone else has thoughts on that from the team, go ahead and jump in. There's a comment that kids love the French toast. That's good to hear. All of our state processed items are student taste tested. So yeah, we're glad to be able to tell you that. Because of the avian flu, poultry prices are supposed to soar some more. Are we locked into this amount entitlement when we order? That is an excellent question. Yes, these are the values for the whole year that will draw down your entitlement. So the price that you are quote unquote paying during the annual order, those are the prices that you will use in your entitlement. So if you're projecting that those poultry prices will go up next year, this value is the value that you'll be using toward your entitlement, used toward your entitlement, that will not change, even if the prices go up, or hopefully not, but if the prices go down, then you would be paying an inflated price, because this is the price you're, quote unquote, the price you're paying. Entitlement 2 years ago was 36,000, then went to 30,000 last year. Now it's down to 24,000. Is this based on the free and reduced number of meals? It's based on total meals. So it's based on free, reduced, and paid meals, lunches. And that's what this entitlement is based on. And it's also based on your lunches. So it is a bit of a calculation, and it's based on the USDA foods rate. So if there was a decrease between 2 years ago and last year, you might want to look at your lunch count. Any other questions, team?
Just one other clarification on that last one. Sometimes what we have available to the state also impacts some of those numbers. So,
yes. And this year, like I said, this year, the amount compared to last year did go down. I do see something in the Q&A. Oh, the gold certificate. Thanks, Cassidy. Will this webinar be recorded and sent out to be able to be rewatched? Yes. When we send that, it'll probably be posted in a couple days. That might be optimistic, but then on that February 10th email that you receive, there will be a link to this recording. Richard's looking for the certificate again. Cassidy, if you still have that certificate link. And
Yep,
it'll be in the
repost
chat.
it.
Yep. So he's in the chat. If you put in the chat again, I know this is a pretty long chat for this meeting.
thank y'all for all the questions. This is great.
Okay, I don't see new questions right now. I do see 48 folks still hanging out. If you have a question, we're still here. Go ahead and use the chat. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming today. Okay, last call for questions, and we will end the meeting. Oh, there's a last minute question. I do the same thing. I wait around to see if someone asks a really good question. Let's see. So I do see, what is the website to get the directions for ordering again? I can see if I can pull that up quick. So that should go right to the PDF. I just dropped that link in the chat for the instructions for entering the annual order survey. A lot of those screenshots in these instructions look the same as what we just presented in the PowerPoint. So hopefully it looks familiar. And by doing both of these, it'll go quite quickly for you. Oh, and Lyra is navigating over to where it is right on the annual order webpage. And if you don't want to look at those instructions until it opens on February 10th, we'll be sending another, there'll be a link in that email. That email will go to the primary contact on the application tab. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye now.